Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys That Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, and David once again. Say what's up.
Yo.
What's up?
Welcome back, David. We missed you in the last video. Something that we realized is we probably should have made a video over the weekend because usually spoiler season, I feel like there aren't a lot of cards being spoiled over the weekends, but somehow there were. So yay to us taking the weekend off. So we're coming at you with a mega video for today. So it's including all the spoilers for the weekend as well as Monday. But they are only the rares and mythics. So if you do want to follow along with us, we actually post all of the spoilers that are common and uncommon to our Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. That's at Guys at Magic. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get with all these rares and mythics that they announced. First one being Geralf, Visionary Stitcher. Geralf is 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, human wizard. That is a 1/4. It states zombies you control have flying. It also has an ability that says pay a blue, tap it, sack another non-token creature, create an XX blue zombie creature token, where X is the sacrificed creature's toughness. Wow, what do we think? Flying zombies. David, go ahead.
Shane, you start out with this one.
Okay.
I think this is fucking nuts for like maybe limited. I feel like there's already an amazing blue-black zombie deck flying around that this would just make it stupid strong, like insanely stupid strong. I'm sure someone could make this into a standard deck as well, but this immediately just screams limited to me.
I think blue-black zombies is going to be in standard. There's a lot from this set.
Yeah.
It's a lot from this set and the last set. Like
Also,
Champion of the Perished. You're gonna have flying champions coming at you.
That's true. I also kind of feel that the ability on it is cool, but like, how often are you sacrificing like big things? Probably not that often. Maybe I could be wrong. So like the first part is what like the zombies have flying is relevant to me.
So this card I feel like is super interesting to me, and I don't know how to feel. So my immediate thought that comes with this is that I know that we're doing like the double feature draft with this set, and this card really feels like it should have been in the last one for me because this one doesn't have like the decayed mechanic, right?
The set itself?
Yeah, I haven't seen any cards with the decayed mechanic. Have I just missed it, or am I right in that the decayed is not a thing now?
You're correct. There has not been a decayed card announced yet.
So like my gripe with this is I feel like this is a huge limited payoff for your zombie tribal. And I think that like what you guys mentioned, I feel like this card absolutely you're gonna play this in zombie tribal and standard or in any other kind of format. I just feel like I really want to draft with this, and this is gonna force me to play that double feature instead of just drafting Crimson Vow. I don't know. I feel like it's different in those two formats, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's just weird to me.
Tell me how to feel my feelings.
Well, like to me, it's like this is the payoff card that like I wanted to have with that mechanic that didn't exist, and now it does, and the mechanic's not here. So I feel like it just like it misses its mark. It's just it's not lining up for me.
You're talking strictly limited, it sounds like.
I am talking strictly limited. I think for standard, I think this card is going to be fantastic. As you guys had mentioned, yes, this goes in your blue-black tribal, your blue-black zombie deck, and this is just fantastic for that. This screams more of a, I don't know. I want to play it in limited, especially because like looking at something like Commander, this is a blue legendary. This is not going to be at the helm of the deck typically. I mean, this is going to be a supporting card to help out all those zombies. So
spoilers. We're going to talk about our Commander cards.
We absolutely will. I feel like this card in and of itself leaves me with just a little bit of confusion, and I want to know like moving forward if is the double feature going to be like a one and done type thing, or is this going to be something that we're going to see moving forward? Does that mean that we're also going to see cards like this happening later on?
I don't know. I think you're thinking too far ahead.
It feels out of set.
Yeah, I mean, there is zombies in the set though.
There's still more to announce still, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, just like the last set had a legitimate mechanic that cared strictly about zombies.
Yeah. Well, hold your tongue until we get to the other. When the whole set is announced, we'll see where this lands. All right, let's move on to Investigator's Journal. Investigator's Journal is 2 mana for an artifact clue. It says Investigator's Journal enters the battlefield with a number of suspect counters on it equal to the greatest number of creatures a player controls. You can pay 2, tap this, remove a suspect counter from Investigator's Journal, draw a card. Or you can just pay 2 and sacrifice Investigator's Journal to draw a card. So very just simple artifact with card draw.
Okay.
You sound very excited about that.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, cool, I guess. I don't. Card advantage is good. It's a clue that doesn't leave immediately. That's cool, I guess. I don't know. Is it boring?
It's a very boring card, but I think it's effective.
Yeah, it does a job, very much so.
I don't know if I like this at rare.
Yeah, that seems like weird.
I mean, okay, so you pay 2 mana to get this thing in play. It's an additional 2 mana to draw a card past that. And this is really only as good as the number of creatures your opponents control. And if your opponents control 4 or 5 creatures, like,
Holy fuck.
is
It could
this
be
helping you?
Yeah,
it
I
could
don't
be
know.
you too. It's a player.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but like even at that point, I mean, like if you have 4 or 5 creatures in play, like
You're
you
winning.
probably don't need the card draw. Yeah, like Shane said, you're probably winning.
True. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this card at all.
Unless you're playing like control, but like control doesn't normally go wide. That's weird, yeah.
I completely agree, David. The whole pay 2, then remove 1 to draw a card is too much.
I mean, like you got to pay 4 mana for this to do anything on its first activation, 2 for the initial, like just getting this thing in play, and then 2 for whatever you choose to do. And paying 4 mana to potentially sacrifice thing to draw a single card is an awful rate.
Well, unless you're unlimited.
True. But we're going to be wrong about this somewhere, and it'll probably run standard. So
I'm thinking about like R&D, and R&D is like, oh, it literally does what a clue token does, but it doesn't leave immediately. We might as well make it pay 1 more. That's why I would think, what the fuck? They couldn't make if this cost 1, it would just be infinitely better than a clue.
Yeah, but a clue is also a token. This is a card.
That's what I'm
This costs a slot in your deck.
Oh yeah, true.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck. This card's dumb.
All right, let's move on.
All right, move on. We have Engulfing Tide. Engulfing Tide is 2 and 2 blue for a sorcery. It states each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all other non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Then draw a card for each opponent with more cards in hand than you.
Amazing.
Seems pretty good.
Yep. For 4 mana, seems amazing.
However,
But
you better be running something with maximum hand size.
yeah,
You-
I mean yeah.
You also don't get rid of their scariest thing.
It's true. You don't get rid of everything.
So
Well,
they're going to
yeah.
choose the problem card, and this doesn't deal with it because it gets rid of everything else.
All right, I'm thinking commander, but sorry. Okay, you're right.
No, you can think of commander. We're talking about just this card.
I mean, sure, you get to keep a problem card, but you're gonna get screwed everywhere else.
Yeah, think about all the bounced mana rocks. You just bounced.
Or
Wow.
tokens that are gone.
Tokens are gone, yeah.
For 4, this is this is good.
EDH, I guess, fine. Yeah, you're dealing with hopefully a lot of your opponent's stuff and kind of slowing them down. Plus, in that case, like you could be drawing 3 cards off this as well. So yeah, that's totally fine by me. In the one-on-one format, though, like you're maybe drawing a card and you're not dealing with the big thing that's probably killing you that you needed to get rid of.
I know, but you are disrupting someone that has a very set up board, which would be pretty cool.
Sorcery speed, so it's slower. Like this is instant. You can do it when they attack or something, which
I think instant would be way too powerful.
I agree.
I don't think it'd be way too powerful.
I think
Yeah, it
4
would.
mana for an instant of this is, I think that would be nuts.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't agree.
All right,
I like
so
blue cards.
we're mixed with this one. I like it. Shane likes it. David, you're on the fence.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm very middle of the road here.
Okay. Well, let's move on to a mythic card. This is Cemetery Protector. Cemetery Protector is 2 and 2 white for a 3/4 creature human soldier. It's got flash. It says when it enters the battlefield, exile a card from a graveyard. And whenever you play a land or cast a spell, if it shares a card type with the exiled card, create a 1/1 white human creature token.
That's lit.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, that's lit.
Yeah, this card's dope.
Because I'm pretty sure I would try to exile a land every time. Just to ensure I'm making 1/1s.
I mean, how often do you, like in standard, do you have a land in the graveyard though?
Someone that pops something that destroyed. If you're running, I just blanked on the name of the card that destroys a land.
Like Stone Rain or something? That's not in standard.
No, I was thinking the land that destroys a land.
The land that destroys a land.
Oh, Field of Ruin.
Thank you, Field of Ruin.
Such a fucking edge case, dude. I feel like you're casting. You're doing this on like just a creature, right?
Or if someone popped Evolving Wilds. I don't know. I like it. I would try to go for the land every time. Or creature, sure, creature.
So you guys are also talking about cases and like with the Evolving Wilds, I'm assuming you're trying to like maximize this trigger to be able to get it twice. It does say whenever you play a land, not whenever land enters play. So if you are going to Evolving Wilds, whatever else you're grabbing with that, you're not playing.
I was just thinking of cards, land cards that could potentially be in the graveyard.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
I think this card is dope. At a very bare minimum, it's a 3/4 with flash that your opponents are not going to see coming, and it's got nothing but upside past that point.
I think what's happening here, Hunter, is that you're playing your 1 and 2 mana drops that are probably humans. They're dying, and then when you flash this in, you're targeting the human. So whenever you cast a human, you make a human. But you can target your own graveyard too.
Just card type though, just be creatures.
Dude, this card too, like even like whenever you get even more crazy than that, like this thing in multiples, if you can start hitting something like a land and a creature or something like that, if you have multiple of these in play, this card gets insane.
That's super nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. 1/1s, dude. Human Tribal is back, baby. All right, let's move on to another one. This is Kessig Wolfrider. Kessig Wolfrider is 1 red mana for a 1/2 creature human knight. It has menace. It also has pay 2 and a red and tap, exile 3 cards from your graveyard, create a 3/2 red wolf creature token. What do we think?
I got so excited because I thought this was like a 1-drop wolf that was going to be pretty solid. Not the right creature type for me.
It's human knight. Human knight.
More humans, dude. You're gonna go Boros.
Don't tempt me, dude. I'll do it in limited.
I mean, I don't think it's bad, but it's not.
1 mana, 1/2 menace with a little bit of upside.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Surprise doesn't have haste. It's being red.
That's kind of the thing that it struck me as interesting about this too. I do think that this card is actually really solid though.
Yeah. It's a good one. Good little 1-drop.
I mean, it's a 1 mana card with menace, which tells me it's probably going to be able to get in like twice, maybe 3 times. And then whenever it's no longer relevant because it's just a 1/2, you can start making some 3/2s, given that you got a graveyard.
That's true. You're going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff or have a lot of stuff in your graveyard. Yeah, because exiling 3 cards is a lot to make 1 creature token.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more I talk about it, the more I don't like it.
Talking ourselves out of it.
Yeah. I'm out. All right, let's move on to another mythic. This is Toxrill, the Corrosive. Toxrill is 5 and 2 black for a 7/7 legendary creature slug horror. It says at the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. Also says whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter on it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. You can also pay a blue and a black, sacrifice a slug, draw a card. A lot going on in this card.
So dope.
It just slowly kills your opponent's things.
That's not very slow.
This shit is an EDH monster, dude. I want to build it so bad. This would be so sick. Sorry, okay.
Commander grade video. When that comes out, we'll talk
Yeah.
more about. Yeah, but I think this
Standard,
card is
I don't know how
super
to feel
cool.
about with standard.
7 mana for a 7/7 is a lot.
I mean, it does a lot of cool shit though.
It does.
You guys are so dumb. I'm never paying 7 for this. This is my reanimation target.
Okay.
What are you reanimating with in standard?
I don't know. We're gonna make it happen though.
Fucking this again. I don't care. I'm gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna live in magical Christmas land. I don't know the format right now well enough for me to be able to put something around with this, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get some more reanimation later on with this set. But for other formats, 100%, this is the card that I want to be able to reanimate. Also, it's the beginning of each end step, not just yours.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
CDH.
oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'll
I know.
try not to talk about EDH for that. This card thing's not fair though.
We'll all just say as a preview, we're all very high on this card for EDH. But we'll get into more when we come out with our video. I love this card, dude. Toxrill.
Yeah, it looks really good.
This is the
It's
card
really
I was
fun.
saying,
It's
Shane.
really,
I was
really
like,
fun.
you're gonna love this card.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Necroduality. Necroduality is 3 and a blue for an enchantment that says whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature.
That's dope.
We're doubling zombies.
Double season for zombies, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, but it's specifically non-tokens. So I mean, all those ones from the previous set that have decayed, they don't count.
I mean, if it didn't count non-token, this
we were
thing would break itself.
Yeah.
True. Forgot about that little clause.
That's sick though. Is it sick enough for standard? Don't know.
Champion of the parish, dude.
That's
You're
one card.
naming.
Champion of the
Yeah.
parish. The blue-black zombies is going to be a
Naming one
thing.
card.
Dude, that card's going to grow so fast.
You're naming a 1-drop, and I get it. Yes, it's a solid 1-drop. However, I look at a card like this, and I definitely think that like you still have to have zombies in your hand after you've cast this. And to me, Champion of the Parish is much more. It's low to the ground and it's aggressive. I don't want to copy a low to the ground aggressive card with this. I want instead to cast like some giant zombie and make a token of said giant zombie. This is for me, it's the opposite direction. I want to be able to have like that 6 mana zombie that I'm casting after this thing, not my 1 mana.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just giving examples of zombies in standard.
He's example.
Couldn't think of another zombie currently.
We know you love champion. Do we get it?
Champion of the Parish.
I mean, I guess my counter and like my point in all of this is like, are there zombies out there that are going to be good enough at a high enough, or just like that are relevant enough that I really do want to be able to copy the ETBs on these things, because I am essentially going to be taking an entire turn to cast this thing.
I mean, in standard, I can think of a couple. They'll be in standard. Like off the cuff, immediately, the first thing I thought of, that one that's currently in standard. It's like it's a limited card, right? But it's like the 6/6. When it ETBs, it makes 2 decayed zombies. So you'd get that. You'd make 4 decayed zombies. Like that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just that like I don't know. At the same time, I feel like is this card is this win more? Like if I'm casting this, am I already winning the game? And if that's the case, like do I actually want to be doing this?
Don't know. It seems definitely win more to me though.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sold on this.
We'll see.
Oh, wait. What about this in conjunction with that fucking card that makes everything the same creature type? So then all your creatures are zombies?
Maxwood Nexus.
Dude.
Okay. Now you're talking about building around 2 cards that you're going to have. That the first one, the creature card type, doesn't do anything unless you have this and other zombies that you care about. Because like if your other creatures at this point are not zombies, this card does nothing.
True.
Whatever. It's kind of cool to think about.
Just like the Skeleton Swarming deck.
Cool to think about. I don't know if it's going to pay off.
I mean, the Skeleton Swarming deck paid off. Whatever.
Yeah, that deck's made based around 1 card.
All right. Wait, Skeleton Swarming, that was based around 2 again. The enchantment and the deck. Whatever, David. That doesn't make any sense.
Moving on, we have Ulvenwald Oddity. Ulvenwald Oddity is 2 and 2 green for a 4/4 creature beast. It's got trample and haste. It also has pay 5 and 2 green to transform Ulvenwald Oddity. When it's transformed, it turns into Ulvenwald Behemoth, which is an 8/8 with trample and haste, and also says other creatures you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste.
Terrifying.
Big and scary.
Looks disgusting.
This sets Craterhoof Behemoth.
Gross.
Behemoth.
We had, well, like each time we go to Innistrad, we get some variant of a big green creature that cares about you going wide. So the first one was Craterhoof Behemoth. I don't remember what the second one was. It was some boar. And I guess this time around, this is what we get.
Wait, going wide?
Yeah, so this one,
Trample.
for example, whenever it transforms, it's other creatures you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. So you're basically going in for one big push there. Plus, on top of that, this thing is an 8/8 with trample and haste so long as it's transformed.
Got it.
Does cost a lot of mana.
That's a lot of money. A lot of mana monies.
This card is designed where it's like you transform it, you win the game that turn.
Yeah, this seems like a limited, maybe.
I mean, even for standard though, 4 mana for a 4/4 with trample and haste, the front half of this thing is pretty aggressively statted.
That's true.
Super easy to ramp in green too. I think we're gonna see this in standard, and it's gonna suck.
Mono green stompy, dude.
Mono green stompy. That's absolutely true. I don't know. I like it a lot. It's scary, it's terrifying if you go up against it because it's pretty much I lost.
I think you got to turn to be able to interact with it because I mean, realistically
Got trample
speaking,
and haste, and everything has haste.
Okay, that's also assuming you spent, what is it, 7 for 11 mana to cast this thing and then flip it.
Basically, what you're saying to someone is if you play this on turn 4, you got 3 turns.
Yeah, I'm saying that like this is the threat that's going to be deployed in the early game that you have a little bit of time and a window to deal with it, but you definitely need to deal with this before they start to transform these things and build up their board.
All right, let's move on to a new demon. This is Dreadfeast Demon. Dreadfeast Demon costs 5 and 2 black for a 6/6 creature demon that has flying. It says at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Dreadfeast Demon. What do we think? This is where your decayed zombies go.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't either. Because, I mean, it doesn't say may. So what happens if you don't?
Well, then you just can't. Or what? Yeah, I don't know why. Why is this if you do?
So it's not going to give you a choice. If you have this and another creature in play, you have to sacrifice the other creature. But if you don't have another creature in play, then this ability is not going to take effect. It's just to prevent you from being like, oh, I kind of like this other card in play, so I think I'm not going to sacrifice it.
Right. If it's out alone, it says non-demon, so you can't sacrifice it.
Yeah, they can't eat themselves.
I don't like it.
A bunch of 6/6 flyers. What do you think?
I'm sure there's a way to make it really cool, but I'm not.
For 7 mana, no, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't like it.
If you have managed to make this thing happen and get the payoff from it, you would have already won the game, or should have already won the game. This is a 7 mana card that, yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, you could probably make another demon that turn, but that's a lot of mana.
I like the flavor text. By the 6th day of darkness, the lake was more blood than water.
Terrible. Terrible.
But yeah, don't like the card either. Moving on to another mythic. This is Cemetery Prowler. Cemetery Prowler is 1 and 2 green for a 3/4 creature wolf. It's got vigilance. It also says whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. It says spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card type they share with cards exiled with Cemetery Prowler.
This seems really pushed.
That sounds like something Dave would say. Dave, tell us why it's pushed.
This card genuinely frustrates me.
Yeah. 3 mana, 3/4 with vigilance seems nuts. With upside, that's nuts.
Everything about this card is upside.
Hey, it's that mythic for a reason.
I don't
mean,
care about the
no.
rarity. I understand that, yeah, sure, it's mythic so that you don't see this thing very often in limited. Let's be real. I don't care about a 3/4 in a limited environment most of the time. What I do care about, however, is my opponent dropping one of these consistently on turn 3 in standard or some other kind of constructed format, and the removal or interaction not being up to par to be able to deal with this. So, I don't know. I mean, we're getting some solid removal. We just got, I forgot the name of the card, the new one in black from the last set that destroy target creature, you lose 2 life, which, I mean, those are good, but if we're going to continue to see creatures that are this pushed, I do expect the power level of the removal spells to also increase.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dope.
I mean,
baby.
like it's cards like this that I look at, and I just think like this immediately stones walls your aggressive red deck. And I'm not trying to be the person who says like we have to have an aggressive red deck, but like I know that in one of the other videos we talked about, like you guys have mentioned that deck does not exist. And I feel like low to the ground aggressive decks probably should exist just for the health of a format, because those tend to keep out decks that are the big mana, high payoff, your Elrond's Epiphany or your like ultimatum decks typically don't do well against those really low to the ground aggro decks, and these cards right here kill those off.
Well,
You know how
why
good
you
this
keep
card
liking-
is?
What?
People were saying, I was reading comments on Magic subreddit that people think this might actually make a little sound in Legacy.
Maybe. What? Because the graveyard hate.
No, it's the third ability on this one that makes it pretty good there. That reduction in cost.
What? But it needs to exile itself, so it's in conjunction with the first. That reduction doesn't count as exiles.
Yeah. So you exile an instant or you exile a sorcery and then your stuff costs 1 less, and in a format like Legacy where most of your stuff is only going to cost 1 or 2.
Seems pretty good. Don't see a lot of cards coming from standard going to those right away, but maybe this will see it.
I don't know. I don't know if this is good enough to see play there. This is still somewhat expensive, but I mean, I don't know. These cards really frustrate me for standard.
I like it because it's powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Next up, we have Howlpack's Piper. Howlpack's Piper is 3 and a green for a 2/2 creature human werewolf. It says this spell can't be countered. You can also pay 1 and agree and tap it. It says you may put a creature card from your hand to the battlefield. Untap Howlpack's Piper if it's a wolf or a werewolf. Activate only as a sorcery, and it has Daybound. When it's nighttime, or Nightbound, it becomes Wild Tune Howler. It's a werewolf that says whenever this card enters the battlefield or transforms into Wild Tune Howler, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a 4/4. What do we think? Take it away, David.
Okay. So for 3 mana, I get a creature that is going to be able to help me out with dumping other things out of my hand, which is going to help me cheat on some mana cost. Also, since I'm just, what was that?
You said 3 mana. It's a 4 mana creature.
I'm sorry. I'm for 4 mana. I get this creature. It has an ability on it where I have to pay 2 instead of the CMC or the mana value. I'm sorry, of whatever creature I'm trying to put into play, so I can drop my big fatties that way. And since I'm actually not casting them, it means that I'm just going to be able to pass my turn after using this ability, and then transform it, which is going to grab me an additional creature off that. So 6 mana over the case of 2 turns for me to get 4/4 and 2 other creatures into play. I think this thing is super powerful, especially since that first ability is just straight up gas.
You like Wolf Tribal?
I don't want to play this in Wolf Tribal, to be completely
Yeah,
honest.
not
I
even
know that
big.
there's other upside here in Wolf Tribal. I want to play this with, I don't know, that big ass slug that we talked about earlier, or one of these other big scary creatures. That just like, I'm gonna pay 2 mana and I'm gonna tap this thing. And at the end of my turn, I'm going to have this monstrous creature that I just teed into play, and I'm going to be able to transform this because I'm building my board state up without casting it, so we're going to flip from day to night.
This
Yeah,
card's
good
fucking
point.
crazy, dude.
Good point. Can you believe it?
It's cool that you would untap a creature if it's a werewolf, but like, honestly, don't think I would care either. I'm playing like
Yeah.
the biggest cards I can sneak. Dude, you could play Coma.
Yeah. You're absolutely cheating in cards.
And like, you're not getting penalized for that either, because like whenever you're doing this, who cares? You're not casting anything else that turn probably, so you kind of get to pseudo do this twice whenever it transforms.
Yeah, because you're not gonna be. Yeah. I'm all jumbled with my words, but I mean, you're absolutely right. When you're putting stuff on, you're not casting it, so it is gonna make it nighttime.
This,
I'm just, oh sorry.
wow. I'll say I know that the wolf was cheaper, but like, this might so far be the craziest card we've seen all day.
I don't know. Seeing the wolf that we saw earlier, I'm just surprised that this isn't a 4/5 with Mega Menace and Death Cling.
Yeah,
Do you think this is too good to be a rare?
I mean, I don't care about the rarity.
I'm just saying in general.
I don't
You know?
know. I don't. I think a rare or a mythic. I think either one are fine on this.
Gotcha. Stupid powerful. We're all in agreement, right?
Yep. If your opponent plays this, you need to kill it immediately. You cannot let them activate that ability.
Yeah, if they untap on their turn, you're done.
Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't even read the fact. It can't be countered. So like this just fucks over blue interaction.
Well, you have to bounce it then. You have to like put it back in
Fading
your hand.
hope.
Yeah,
Dude.
or the other one.
Maybe my problem is I just hate green.
I think that's it. It's your favorite color, right?
Ah, fuck green.
Oh,
Next
potty
up-
mouth.
Next up, we have a new curse. This is Curse of Hospitality. Curse of Hospitality costs 2 and a red for a curse. It says enchant player. Creatures attacking enchanted player have trample. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to the enchanted player, that player exiles the top card of their library. Until the end of turn, that creature's controller may play that card, and they may spend mana as though it were any mana of any color to cast that spell.
I feel like we're all going to be in agreement here.
Seems good.
Yeah. EDH.
EDH, this is so good.
It's called Put It On Hunter. Attack him.
Dude, whoever this gets put on is just like sad.
All right, we're not in agreement at all. I think this card is horrible in all formats. I think it's actually worse in EDH than what it is in Standard.
No, you're stupid. Stop talking.
Okay,
If you're being serious, go ahead and tell me.
I'm being very dead serious here. Why do you want to give your opponent's card advantage?
Because you're gonna die.
It doesn't matter. You're giving them card advantage.
Are you?
Wait,
You're giving card advantage to what? Play your opponent's spells?
Yeah. So they're going to be exiling the top card of their library, and then they have the opportunity to cast that. It's not card draw. That's why I'm saying card advantage here, is because like they still have to be able to cast it that turn, or it's just like burn. But
that turn being when they get attacked.
No, that turn being whenever they are doing the attacking. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to the enchanted player. So if you cast this and you target it on player B, and then player C attacks player B, you just gave player C a card.
I don't care.
And you had to spend your card to do it.
Yeah, but
doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's no difference than goading.
It doesn't matter. No, this is very different than goading. Goading is forcing an attack. This is giving me something to kill you with.
Well, it's no different than the card that says, "Do you want to take a counter? If you take a counter, you can't attack me."
Yeah. You're helping your player.
Okay, here's the thing though, is that like I can use the card that I just exiled to kill the card you're talking about, like the Orzhov, I forgot this attack me. So two things here is that number one, on that one, it actually requires some kind of sequencing because it's going to do it on their turn. So you have to be able to think, okay, wait, am I going to need to attack this player? The second thing here is that that's still not card advantage. I think this card is awful in a multiplayer environment, and I think that honestly, it's really not even that good one-on-one.
It's awesome.
I don't like it one-on-one, but I still think it's a pretty cool card.
I never, ever want to play a card.
I'm going to put this on you.
Comment down below and tell me who's wrong, dude.
I'm going to put this on you.
I'm gonna put this on the comments section. Let's go.
All right, next card. House of Horrible Dolls. House of Horrible Dolls is 5 generic mana for an artifact. Has an ability of pay 1 and tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card. But it's a 0/0 construct artifact creature with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Activate only whenever you can cast a sorcery. I
This
don't
art
like
is
it.
psycho, dude. I just noticed the freaking window.
Hi. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this card. I mean, you're getting the ability of the creature, but that's it.
I think the ability of the creature is probably more important than the power and toughness. But I do agree that I don't like this card, and that's just mainly coming from the fact that the initial upfront cost is 5 mana.
Yeah.
This isn't a way for me to like do the cheaty reanimation-esque thing. This is a way for me to reuse bodies.
You could semi reanimate, right? Because like, let's say you had 6 mana. There's only 1 in tap, right? And then it gets 1/1 and haste. So then that creature can attack right away, right?
It's true.
Okay, so if you only have this, though, I mean, your
It's a 2/2.
exiled creature is
Yeah.
it's a 2/2.
True.
So
yeah.
so you're really only going for the abilities, unless I guess you're playing some kind of weird artifact matters reanimation-esque thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. The initial 5 still loses me.
Yeah. Maybe like an EDH, I don't know.
Not a fan. Not a fan. All right. Next up, Falkenrath Forebear. Falkenrath Forebear is 2 and a black for a 3/1 creature vampire. It's got flying. It can't block. And whenever Falkenrath Forebear deals combat damage to a player, create a blood token. Pay a black. Sacrifice 2 blood tokens. Return Falkenrath Forebear from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very basic. Plays with the new mechanic blood. 3 mana for 3/1 flyer. That can't block.
Doesn't seem too bad. The reanimation ability seems pretty good.
If you have blood tokens.
I think this card is really good, actually.
Yeah.
It gives you blood tokens, so like you don't really have to do a whole lot of work. Plus, if you're playing some kind of like aggressive vampire tribal, you're probably going to have other cards that are going to make the blood tokens in here too. I think that the fact that this thing can't block really is super cute because it's a 3 mana, 3 powered creature with flying. So I'm swinging with this every turn.
It's basically in big red letters, you will attack.
Yeah. It's like, let's be real. I was never thinking about blocking.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I'm a fan. It doesn't even matter about using the blood tokens.
Dude, this and the other card that was announced, the one that was like, if you have 3 blood tokens, flip this card and turn it into whatever. Then all your blood tokens turn into like 2/2s or something.
The bats. Yeah, they turn into bats.
It's gonna be a crazy black-red blood token deck.
I think it's going to shake up standard. Let's move on to another mythic. This is Cultivator Colossus. Cultivator Colossus is 4 and 3 green for a star creature, plant beast. It's got trample. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. When Cultivator Colossus enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. So it comes in as at least a 7/7 if you're using all lands to cast this. And it can grow. And grow. And grow.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this earlier. I don't know, I'll let David talk.
David loves green.
I want to go through Hunter's impression of this first. Because he sounds very monotone, but I feel like behind that monotone is this like giggly little kid that was just walked into the candy store and like told, just grab everything you want, Johnny. Just go for it.
Well, it's already been broken. There's a card called Abundance that says if you would draw a card, you can instead choose a land or non-land. and then put that in your hand instead. So you can, if you're running an EDH and you're running Abundance with this, you play every single land in your deck. Seems good.
Seems not bad.
And that combo. Plus, as you guys are aware, my favorite EDH deck is Lord Windgrace. And that is land matters. So I like land stuff.
Shocking.
Go ahead,
So
David. Tell me why you hate
He
it.
remains monotone. I don't hate this card, actually. I do, however, think that I'm not wanting to take this in a direction where I have to have 7 lands in play to cast it. I would love to actually be able to, like, specifically go and, like, bury it alive and then reanimate this thing, hopefully, like, on turn 2, and then try to ramp with this card. So I'm not really looking at it for like the big payoff. I'm looking at it. Well, I guess still we're kind of looking at it as like the how can I get as many lands as possible into play with this. So I don't know. I don't really care about the power and toughness of this thing. I think it's kind of nutty and that it can cheat a lot of lands into play very, very quickly, especially if you build around it. So I don't know if I care too much about this for standard. I think this is probably hot garbage in limited. And in EDH, there's some silly things you can do with it.
I don't know if it's hot garbage and limited. I mean, like I said, 7 mana for a 7/7 with trample is pretty scary.
That is 7 mana for a 7/7 that probably will not do much because if you've got 7 lands in play, you probably don't have any left in your hand. So, yeah.
Hey, big threats are scary and limited, okay?
I
That's all I'm
mean,
saying.
at the end of the day, it's a 7 mana
At the end of the
7/7.
day.
This is your, what is that? The card here, the Colossus. What is the big T-Rex thing? The 6/5 with trample? Or 6/6 with trample?
Carnage Tech? Wait, what?
No, not Carnage Tyrant. That one was much, much better and much bigger.
What is it?
The
I'm gonna
critter
think.
Behemoth?
No, I'm gonna think of the name of it. Damn it! It's the one that became a meme because it got reprinted right after it got printed, and then they made a blue version of it in Modern Horizons 2.
Oh, the colossal.
Dreadmaw, Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yeah.
There you go. It feels like the same role, but this one has the land upside.
Yeah, I guess so. But I completely agree with you that the main power of this card is that third ability. That's wild. All right. Next up, Inspired Idea. Inspired Idea is 2 and a blue for a sorcery that says draw 3 cards. Your maximum hand size is reduced by 3 for the rest of the game. Or you could also pay its cleave cost, which is 3 and 2 blue. In case you don't remember, if you do pay the cleave cost, you remove the things in the bracket. What was in the bracket? Well, that was your maximum hand size reduced by 3 for the rest of the game. So you pay that 5 mana and draw 3 cards.
Card sucks.
I don't like this card.
I love it.
Yeah, it sucks, David.
I love this card so much. I feel like this should not be a sorcery.
It's bad.
What happens if this card is played with a card already that says you have no maximum hand size? Then that second part is irrelevant, right?
Well, then your maximum hand, your no limit is reduced by 3, so your hand size is now unlimited -3, so unlimited.
So 3 mana to draw 3 cards is pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Granted,
right.
you have that.
You're right. If you are playing this card for 3 mana, you're stupid.
Oh, dude, I'm 100% playing this card for 3 mana and then hating everything for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get a great rate on drawing cards the one time I do cast this.
I bet you do.
I feel like I didn't talk about it anymore. This is stupid.
I wish it wasn't instant. I feel like it would make it so much more like just not even just playable, just like I would at least be entertained by this card. But as
Would you pay 5 mana to draw 3 cards?
Absolutely.
You
Now
haven't.
it's sorcery speed. It's still kind of a tough buy, but like if it were, I don't know, dude. I really want this card to be an instant.
I feel like this guy's Inspired Idea is trash.
Yeah.
No, dude, his inspired ideas to make his corpse bride thing that he had.
His
That's
zombie
the same guy.
sister.
Yeah, it's Geralf.
Geralf.
This guy's stupid. He's not very good at making ideas, dude.
All right, next up, we have Hamlet Vanguard. Hamlet Vanguard is 2 and a green for a 1/1 creature human warrior. It's got Ward 2. It also says Hamlet Vanguard enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each other non-token human you control. So this could be 3 mana for a 5/5 if you have a 1-drop and a 2-drop human.
Seems relevant.
Yeah.
With Ward 2. Seems relevant.
Ward 2. A 5/5 with Ward 2 for 3 mana. Seems good.
I am shocked that Wizards would print a green creature that would be potentially much bigger stat-wise than what it probably should be, with another relevant ability on it. Shocked.
Shocked, dude. It sounds like you hate how much love green is getting.
Like, at what point can I have Lightning Bolt? Like,
You don't get Lightning Bolt, dude. You had we had Nightling Bolt, dude.
I mean, like, okay, for real talk here. There is a 3-drop in the format, getting ready to come into the format at least, that Lightning Bolt does not kill. I feel like we are getting to the point where Shock is even starting to get questionable, because, I mean, like, we have a 2-mana, 3/3 wolf that's already in standard. Like, what is all this?
3 mana 5/5 is better, okay?
You're right. That way I can spend 3 shocks to kill it.
Duh. Come on now, friend. No, but if you had this like late game, you just had a bunch of humans, that'd be fun.
I
don't
forgot
know.
this card had Ward 2, by the way, which is
got-
even more icing on the cake.
Yeah. Do you want to spend your whole turn? Like,
No.
okay. Yeah.
No,
Trying
because
to kill this.
I won't be able to. Unless I have a card that says, like, just kill this shit, I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah. I think this card's really good. I like it a lot. I don't know what else to say. It's a human. I'm a human player, so count me in.
We're like 4 for 4 on stupid green cards that are way overly pushed.
So you want another one?
One more.
Here's another one. This is Ascendant Packleader. We got a 1-drop, aka this costs 1 mana for a 2/1 creature wolf. Ascendant Packleader enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Whenever you cast a spell with a mana value 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Ascendant Packleader.
Wow.
I think I quit.
I feel like David needs to just play green at this point, dude.
Like,
It's the deck I'm running in standard right now. It's just mono green.
This card's what do you say? It's really good.
This is the 1-drop wolf that everybody has been waiting for. The only thing that people didn't have to make Werewolf Tribal legit is a 1-drop, and here it is.
okay, I'm okay with the fact that this thing is a 2/1 for 1 mana. I'm fine with that. It's an aggressive creature. The downside, however, should be that this card sucks as a top deck later on, but it doesn't, because then it'll be a 1 mana 3/2. And in the case that I
Maybe.
do drop it early on turn 1, oh shit, I happen to play a 4 mana spell later on, so it grows. So, like, it's better. It's good in the late game. It's good in the early game. There's never a point in the game where this thing is bad.
That's just
Seems-
good. That's just good
That's just
card.
like just a good card. Yeah.
Seems like they designed a card very well.
I like it.
David's salty.
I just
David-
don't like cards like this that, like, I look at it and I say, okay, well, I could play one of the other 1-drops in the format, but why would I whenever there's another card out there that is just strictly better?
Well, I mean, what color are you playing? That's the first question.
Obviously, at this point, fucking green, because I don't know if there are other colors in Magic.
Wait, I got a question for you, Dave. Make this card a red goblin, same ability. Do you hate it?
Yes.
No, you don't, you liar.
No, I still do hate it.
I don't believe you
It's
anymore.
too
All right.
pushed. Right, Dave?
It's way too pushed. Fuck it. At least my shot can kill this. I'm done bitching. Whatever. Move on to
Your
these other cards and other
Your
colors
shot
that don't
can
matter.
kill it. There we go. Okay, we'll move on to a blue one. This is Patchwork Crawler. Patchwork Crawler is 1 and a blue for a 1/2 creature zombie horror. You can pay 2 and a blue, exile target creature card from your graveyard, and put a 1/1 counter on Patchwork Crawler. Patchwork Crawler has all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with it. How's that for a color, Dave?
It's great, dude. My 2 mana can block that 1 mana card we just talked about, and they'll trade.
But you can get all the abilities with counters if you pay 3 extra.
I don't know.
And eat a card.
Yeah, it eats the abilities, man.
I don't know if I like it.
It's a zombie horror. I can dig it.
Well, it's a zombie. That's relevant, I guess, right?
There you go, dude. Black blue zombies. It's gonna be a thing.
I mean, yeah.
All my
goes back
bitching aside. Oh, sorry.
It'll be flying, dude.
It would be flying. What you think about
Go
that,
ahead,
Dave?
Go ahead, bitch, David.
All of my bitching aside, like this card is not bad. This card is fine. You have to build around it, but it's fine.
He approves, ladies and gentlemen.
We did it. We got something. All right, let's move on to the final card. Finally, we're talking about Stensia Uprising. Stensia Uprising is 2 and 2 red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 red human creature token. Then, if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sack Stensia Uprising. When you do, deal 7 damage to any target.
Okay.
That's it. It's besides the damage part, why would this be red?
Because it makes humans.
Wouldn't that be white?
Yeah, but it doesn't do damage.
I feel like this should be Boros.
I feel like this should be green. It would make 3 3s.
So dumb, dude.
Fuck it, dude.
No, I think this card should have been Boros. Why is this red?
I don't know how to evaluate this.
Humans are in all 5 colors, so I don't have an issue with this being in red.
Yeah, I guess. We just
They're
looked at
burning-
another. We just
burning
looked at a
people to
green
stake, dude.
human warrior that you loved.
If you can build something control-y with this, then I guess this might be fine. The 1/1 at the end of your at the beginning of your end step, yeah. So you get a 1/1 at the beginning of your end step. So I mean, it's gonna give you a pretty consistent stream of blockers. If you build it in a control shell, I feel like this is actually fine because your opponents have to deal with it. And if you do end up getting 13 permanents in play, I guess you can shoot them for that extra 7 damage for the push to close out the game. I actually don't think I hate this, to be honest. I think that this card is probably better than it reads.
So you're saying we could put this in mono red aggro and go for face?
No, this is not an aggressive deck at all. This is the deck that you are running several other board wipes. You're running maybe that blue bounce spell that we talked about earlier. This is where I'm trying to keep my opponent to where they only have maybe 1 or fewer creatures in play. And that way I'm just using this is the card that I'm stalling my opponent so that they can't kill me until I either get to another win condition or I've amassed a certain number of 1/1s where I'm just going to start to take over the game with that.
Aggro.
No, I don't. I'm not being very clear here, apparently. This is, I feel like, a red skewed and slightly worse version of the Sharknado, where I'm making the tokens that.
Oh, that's way different, dude. What the fuck?
I'm making tokens that, at a base
Those
level,
tokens are
probably
so more
won't be
relative.
super impactful, but, if you don't interact with it, it's going to close the game. And yes, I do know that Sharknado is better.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty. Now that I've been listening to you talk, David, I think it is better than meh.
You're letting David skew your shit, dude. David,
Do you think
tell me what deck is a red control-y deck that is relevant right now.
I feel like this could fit into a Jeskai build, where you're running the Doomscar and other board wipes, and then I don't know, even the white board wipe that we got Spoiled for. Oh my goodness, was this set or last set? They're blending together for me.
Innistrad. Just say that.
One of the most recent Innistrad ones. So like you rock this with those board wipes. Maybe you rock this with a couple of the planeswalkers that we've seen. You guys seem to love that new Chandra, so throw her in there as well. And like that's how you're gonna control the board, and you're gonna lock it down with those board wipes, and then you're gonna close the game out with these kinds of effects.
Yeah,
but
the 1/1 blocks Chandra for you. It's pretty cool.
If you're board wiping though, you're wiping out your permanents, so you'll never get to 7.
I mean, that's
Hopefully
really
you're
not why
playing
I like
stuff.
that card. Yeah, and this counts your lands and itself.
I'm just saying, like, you said that the 1/1s are protecting you, but then you're mentioning that the board wipes are protecting you. So that's like
They're both. And then whenever your opponent has run out of resources, because hopefully you're just kind of like, I don't know, hopefully you're controlling them, you're countering the things that need to be countered, you're board wiping their relevant creatures or using spot removal on them. Then at that point, I mean, it doesn't matter that you have 1 or 2 1/1s because they may not have any creatures at all.
All right. Back to David can talk smoother about cards. I guess I'll give it to him.
I'll also give it to you. You win this time.
Yeah, let him win some cards because he gets all mad and storms off if he doesn't win.
I don't get mad and storm off. I just get pissy at the fact that all the cards here are green.
Yeah, fuck, I'm pissed.
And with that, that is the end of the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you stayed this long, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We will see you guys tomorrow for another spoiler video. Gonna be shorter than this one, that's for sure. Hit that like button. I already said that. Go follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Both are at GuysThatMagic. We are posting all of the spoilers, not just the rares and the mythics, so you will see the commons, uncommons, and all that in between. Hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, this is Guys That Magic. Peace.
Later.
Bye.